Hey, everybody, welcome back to the GEMS podcast. I'm joined today by Stephen Wilcox. He's here to tell us about his class that he has coming up for FDIC 2026. So, Stephen, I'll kick it over to you.
Awesome. Yeah, a little bit about me. I started my EMS career in 2008 as an EMT straight out of high school. Began working as a paramedic in the kind of the area I grew up in 2010. From there, began working county-based EMS a few years later. Until about 2018, I got the opportunity to work at the Colony Fire Department in a single role paramedic program, which is kind of different in the state of Texas, with Chief Thompson kind of started that whole role. So I'm still there full time, obviously, working as an EMS lieutenant there. I've also worked as a flight paramedic part time for Care Flight based out of Dallas for roughly 6 years, and then division chief of EMS for the city of Whitesboro, which is the town I grew up in, or town I live in now. So yeah, kind of again, my whole career, it's interesting the way it's kind of progressed from private to county to a city based fire based EMS service. So taking all my experiences, and one of the things I'm super passionate about is airway management and EMS. More and more, we're getting conversations. Kind of, you're hearing stuff in the background about should EMS providers even be able to do advanced airway management. And I think that is kind of there's not a blanket answer. I wish there was, but I think that it's definitely what's best for our patients. I think that there are, what I'd be lying if I sat here and told you that departments across the United States and the world should all have access to be able to do so. But I think the right departments with the right quality training, I think is a huge part, culture of training, and QA/QI program that's very invasive, and then a medical direction that's super involved. It can be done, and I think it should be done with those departments. I think that having the right tools, programs, training, and all those things involved is what makes this successful. I think and that's kind of where my class stems from. It's task tactics and techniques. A lot of times that we're taught airway management, we're always hearing about the procedures, which kind of goes in the task, right? And I think that the part that we're starting to hear about, thankfully, is okay, what's our tactics? How do we make sure these patients aren't hypoxic and hypotensive before we do this procedure? And what that all entails. And that's really what this class dives into, because there's more to it than just the procedure itself. So we'll dive into all of that. I think I'm super excited for the opportunity to be back at FDIC. This is my third year. So again, I think it's just try to build upon each year and kind of get out there and meet some like-minded folks to kind of have a good discussion and good training.
Awesome. Yeah, we're excited to be having you back. I was as I read your proposal for the talk, I was really excited about it. But now, having heard from you firsthand, I'm ready to go tomorrow. You say so many things that resonate there, and so many things that are important. Especially talking about culture and QA and QI and medical direction and all of the other things that sometimes we don't touch on. Everybody wants to key in on the how do I get the tube, and there's so much more that goes into it.
No,
So
absolutely, and I think that's the big thing. And in EMS, we've always been unfortunately the type to say, well, I hear medical directors all the time. I'm never going to give my people the tools to do that, and that's unfortunate, because I think there's definitely ways if we really look at and dive deep into what it takes. And again, unfortunately, it's not for every department out there, but I think majority could absolutely do it if they have the leadership in the medical direction that's willing to take the time and put in the effort to where it's due, and make sure that we're successful in it. And I think it's, again, it's all in how you do it. I don't have the colony. We're a 90 personnel department, so that's not a huge department. Whitesboro's even smaller. We got about 20 full-time people. So, but with those departments, with the training and the kind of culture we currently have, we're looking at 90%, 95% first pass success rates. And again, now we're even starting to, hear the verbiage. And I think it's great it's not so much on the first pass success rate. If first pass success rate is great, it's a great measure, but the dash 1A, where we're really looking at, okay, did this patient become hypoxic or hypotensive? Did we fix those things before we even started the procedure? And if we did we keep them from going back hypoxic and hypotensive? That really should be the gold standard. And that's where we finally in EMS have started seeing some traction. And now it's just really, how can we get those measurements and data and drive from there? And I think that's the ultimate goal.
Yeah, 100%. It's all about the resuscitation. I equate looking at first pass success rates to judging EMS system performance on response times.
Right. Yeah,
Um, it,
exactly.
it, it's kind of antiquated and it doesn't tell you the whole picture. So
Exactly.
I'm
Right.
excited. I'm excited for your class, and I can't wait to see you in Indianapolis in April.
Absolutely excited to be there.
All right, thanks a lot, Stephen. Have a great day.
All right. You too.